these events are generally once in a lifetime situations. Hopefully they're only getting married once. It's only one bar mitzvah, it's only one bat mitzvah. It's only going to happen once. It's really to be expected. It's only going to be their 21st birthday once. So you've got one really good shot at it. Now, is there any way you can guarantee that things are going to go well? No.
Yeah.
Bring back everything.
Backup plans. Backup plan galore. If you're doing a fire show for a wedding, you have a glow show version. You have a backup plan. You don't want to leave them feeling sorry that they booked you. If you have a backup plan, they'll always feel satisfied then. Now, these are going to be ones that people remember and will remember forever, and that's a good thing most of the time. Now, the other thing with all this type of category then is you come into that air of these people have probably never booked anything before. And that's super worrying because you don't want to work with people who've, never booked anything before because everything goes wrong. So make them personal, make your events personal for them. Can you add a slight touch of bespoke theming, even if it's just a colour scheme, even if it's just a little touch? Can you add that to your show? You don't want to go over the top making a show specifically for them, but as we always do in marketing, you can make it feel bespoke for them. So if it's going to be a bespoke fire show, maybe you want the bride and groom's name to be set alight again. You can do that relatively cheap, relatively easily. And that's something that makes it feel like it's their show. What I will always say, though, is try not to let your client ever pick your music. The only time I've ever done a show where I walked away going, what the fuck just happened, was when the client chose the music. Now, it was an old 90s dance track that this woman had booked as before at her husband's birthday party. We assumed, since this dance track was so obscure and weird, we assumed maybe it's when they first met and this track was playing in a club. Turns out the husband had never heard the track before in his life. Turns out it was Rex Party. Not only did we perform to that, but we probably ruined a relationship by performing to that. So, pick off the shelf when it comes to your music. Don't give your client that much power. Or if you are giving that much power to your client, control it in some way. Please verify where that song comes from. I'm just cringing inside just thinking about that story. So, these events are a lot of extra effort for very little extra income. Generally, these clients do not have ridiculous budgets. They're not going to have your super, I want to spend like 50 grand on this sort of budget. A lot of the time, they do have money to play with. They're not going to be your lowest paid events, but they are a whole lot of extra work. You're going to have to walk them through the booking process step by step by step. With weddings and a lot of private parties, you're also, even after the booking process is done, before the event, you're probably going to get a lot of calls from them anyway, just checking you're still coming, just checking this detail, just checking that. Those calls will not stop until after the job, and then still might carry on for a little while. So you've got to be aware, if you're going primarily into this type of market, you probably want to team up with someone to do that because you're not going to want to answer these ridiculous calls from Bridezilla every single time. Bridezillas are the worst thing in the world. And that's nothing against brides in general, that is just something, when something matters to someone so much, they want to micromanage every detail down to the 10th degree. And they might become inflexible with some things. They may say like, oh, the speeches are going on then at sunset, so we can't have your fire show at sunset. And you're like, well, I know the speeches are going to run over. And they're like, no, it runs time, it will run over. With any any of these events, always assume your show's going to happen an hour later than it really